Hi everyone, it's Elizabeth here. So I wanted to do this quick video in regards to the topic that the new currency on the planet is attention. I apologize, I'm a little bit sick right now, so my voice might be a little dry and coarse, but I heard this like a couple weeks back somewhere. I don't really remember. It's probably like a YouTube video that I was listening to, and the person said that the new currency on the planet is attention. And I kind of sat with that and I had to think about this because when you look at certain things like the rise of narcissistic personality disorder and how our culture in general is just breeding more narcissism, a lot of this roots to this external need to get stimulus and attention and gratification or some form of our self-worth through other people or through social media. This is starting to get to a boiling point where it actually starts to affect people's personal health, especially in mental health. We live in a world where not only are people seeking validation through the external world, not only through things like clicks and likes or people telling us that we're beautiful or that we're smart, that we're really funny, but it's also happening on so many different platforms, and it's happening through various business means and techniques and kind of coaches and that express these type of opinions in general that really start to affect people. Now let me share this example. Many years ago, I went and mentored under two people in the fitness industry, and the two individuals had two completely different points of view in life. I kind of gravitated a little bit more toward the humble one, but the other person said, in order to get successful in the fitness industry, you have to be popular, and that at that time, back in like 2012, 2013, 10 to 15% of your Facebook friends should be liking your images and videos and stuff like that. And so this person would post a video and get anywhere between like 200 and 800 likes. I would post a picture and I would get like 10. And I remember after a while, that ate me up inside to the point where it affected my self-worth. It affected how I found success not only in life, but it affected how I found satisfaction through the work that I provided. And mind you, I spent a lot of money by mentoring through a successful person under the fitness industry. So to some degree, the person was right. Like, in order to be successful, you do have to have a little bit of a following and to be popular to some degree. But the reality is today, not all of us are meant to have that type of life or are supposed to. And now that we have the interwebs like opened up where people are making money off of Instagram and off of, YouTube and reality TV and all this stuff, that it's getting to the point where people's self-worth feel like shit because either they're not putting themselves out there like that or they're just not getting the attention that they seek. And you see this a lot through a lot of money-making programs and abundance programs as well, where people are really, really trying very, very hard to follow this advice of putting themselves out there with their creative pursuits or with their business idea and hoping that this wavelength will catch on and that, their building, their business will start to blow up and become this great thing. And that requires a lot of attention from people. And so what happens if you have this great business idea or this product or this creative thing and you're putting yourself out there, but it's not catching on and you keep trying it and trying it and trying it, eventually it's just going to damage your ego and your self-worth. You might end up quitting and failing, but to some degree it will affect you on a deeper level to think like, well, this can't happen to me. And a lot of people I know right now are like, I don't understand how so many people are living off of, their blog and blah, 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 but I can't do it. And there's a whole other can of worms that goes into, becoming a successful online entrepreneur, because algorithms are really hard to deal with, and certain things like Google Ads and YouTube, it's not the same anymore. Like YouTube used to be able to monetize anything, and now you need to have 1,000 subscribers, and it takes a lot of work to organically build your subscription base. When you start to look at something like the current movie, The Joker, um, was it Archie? Archie, the character that Walking Phoenix played, he was definitely, he's narcissistic, but he was seeking some form of attention from the external world, especially because he got so rejected. He really wanted to be on that television show that Robert De Niro hosted and things like that. And so there was a lot of this attention seeking need from within him. So if you start to look at certain things like how society is today, it's messed up. And some of the shit's starting to get too old because, you know, especially in the world of dating, you're dealing with people's hearts, you're dealing with people's emotions. But a lot of times people don't heal themselves. And what do? They want to boost their ego and get attention, and then they download a dating app within minutes of their minutes or weeks or whatever of a breakup. I downloaded a dating app and I have seen people that have posted like, I'm going through a divorce, I have 3 kids, I'm just seeking some love and affection from somebody, you know? It's like these people are gravitating, they're not taking the time to heal, they're not taking the time to analyze their shit. So they're impulsively going online onto a dating app to seek attention from the opposite gender. That is such a, I don't know, it's not a mistake, but it's just the way that we're headed. And eventually this is going to blow up into combustion because people need to learn how to find fulfillment from within and be completely satisfied with themselves, with their spirituality, with their life work or choices and things like that, and not necessarily feel like they have to be successful through the outer world. Another example was an article a couple weeks ago was about a starving artist. This guy wrote child novels or child books, and he was a struggling author and didn't really get any sales, and it was a suicide. So the kids were shot dead, the wife was shot dead, and then he shot himself. Now there's speculation to say like the guy was really depressed because he didn't make a lot of money off of his authorship, which totally could be accurate. I mean, we don't, you know, at that time when that article came out, it was just a fresh story. But the problem with that is that if that guy's self-worth was linked up to being a successful child book author, that it drove him to kill his family because of something that's suffering inside of him, that's a problem. If you enter into independent artistry and you come into that area of life very clear-headed, you understand how hard it is to sell your books. You understand how hard it is to gain a following for your music. A lot of us aren't meant for the limelight or just to, you know, throw up music and then all of a sudden we're getting 1 million downloads and now we have $1 million in the bank. Like, the sad reality is we are a fish in a big internet pond and everybody else is doing it. Everybody else is writing and self-publishing books. And so you should be thankful and successful for the work that you've done, and not gravitate your self-worth through sales. I did that and it affected my self-esteem greatly, and it took a lot of time to just realize that I'm just happy that I did it. I had, you know, this story or voice that wanted to be expressed, and that it happened. But yeah, I mean, you know, at some point you had to be an actor or an actress in order to star in a movie or a play. And now today we have reality TV where any Joe Schmo can just go on a game show, or, you know, Naked and Afraid. You know, they could go on any of these shows and somehow become a reality TV celebrity, or somebody that goes on like MTV Real World. Like, all of a sudden they're a celebrity, and you don't have to have like any qualification or artistic skill set to do that. So it's a problem. Not everybody should express their opinions or their voice and things like that. And we just have to realize that Today, through the growth of things like self-absorbed behavior and narcissism and being chronically selfish, to some degree, everybody has to be selfish, but we have to learn how to disconnect ourselves from the value that it provides. If you post very intellectual articles or really, pictures about fine art on social media, you're probably not really going to get a whole lot of hits unless it's like an actual niched group. Say it's like a fine art page on Instagram where it's like people who are into that will go on. But if you post a bunch of dumb shit on Facebook and pictures of your food, people will love it. It's just the way that we are going in the dumbing down of society. So the attention you seek is not true. It's not true attention because it's like a hedonic treadmill. You're going to have to, or like a drug or like a sex addict, you're going to have to need more and more of that attention spoon-fed to you in order to get fulfilled. And eventually you need bigger amounts of attention, like, oh, that just, the one or two things, like the attention from your mom and dad, like, that's not really going to bring you any sort of self-worth. So you might seek some bigger attention through more drastic stuff, or girls end up going into some bad situations like doing pornography and becoming strippers because they have low self-esteem and they're broke. So and they're seeking love and attention through some other lustful thing. But yeah, so anyways, I just wanted to share some random thoughts on this because I just find it interesting. If you can kind of think about attention being the new currency on the planet, it's like everybody is just holding their hand out, striving for attention, striving for likes, for followers, for email addresses, anything to get their name and voice out there. And you have to walk this fine line and be like, am I going to be a part of this herd? Or am I going to disassociate from it and not give a shit, just do my own thing, but just not be so attached to the outcome of what you're posting? So if you have thoughts on this, please let me know. I would love to hear what you think. And thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you'd like, definitely please subscribe. You can help me build this channel. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.